everybody got an LLC, a S corp, or whatever the case may be. But most of our business, over 97% of our business, we don't have employees. So I think the conversation, just as it pertains to the podcast or anything that we create, we have to have the conversation of scaling. You know what I mean? So how do I scale this business? So that's the same thing that I'm doing with the podcast. How do I scale it? That's the bigger conversation now.
Okay. Who would, even though all your guests have been phenomenal, you've had some great guests as well as some phenomenal episodes. What episode would you say was probably like you felt like your best or your favorite? I would probably say.
You got to when you break it down to categories like that. Like, if I can say the most fun that I've had in terms of the funniest and just the energy, it would probably be one of my least popular, which was probably with Gary G. Thang Johnson, the comedian.
Oh yeah.
Having him on the show, man, dude is like, he was funny, bro. Like all through, it was hilarious. I would say my best in terms of execution, conversation, the aesthetics was on, the sound was on point, the camera work was on point, the conversation was on point. I would say probably both of my IceT interviews.
Okay.
Along with my Lazy Bone and Crazy Bone interviews.
I think both of those are real good.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. The Bone fans have kind of ordained me, the Bone interviewer. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the assigned Bone interviewer. So those were on point, in terms of just because you know how it is, man. We can go in and thinking, okay, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this, and then you forget something. And then you like, fuck, I should have said, man, I forgot to, you know what I mean? So we had those moments.
I did that with Sugar T just the other day. I mean,
yeah. Even if we make notes, we'll make notes to ourselves and still somehow or another miss something we wanted to ask or say. But so I'll say those, both my IceTs, my Lazy Bone, Crazy Bone, and yeah.
Okay. Hey, I remember you said earlier when you said "Squeeze the Trigger" you said is that your favorite song from IceT?
Not my favorite song. That was my introduction to IceT and gangster rap. First gangster rap record I ever heard. My favorite IceT song, it would, that's hard, but I would probably say "Peel the Caps Back."
Okay.
From Iceberg, the Iceberg album.
Okay, because I don't think people know that "Squeeze the Trigger" song. That's what Rocket was listening to. So you remember Colors?
Yeah.
That's what he would listen to in the background. I know a lot of people probably didn't know that.
Yep, that's a fact. Yep.
Yeah. All right, well, shoot, let's go ahead and touch on some of this community works that you got going on. So, can you give me a little bit of insight on what you got going on with the new community, the Legacy Builders?
Yeah. So, what again, kind of pivoting off of building off of what I just said in terms of scaling, with the Holdin Court Podcast, man, I've had so many people, reach out to me in different ways, email, messages, comments, and they tend to want to know more. They I have people ask about mentorship, they ask about business, especially healthy living, working out, different things like that. People want to get into entertainment. They want to, they ask me an array of questions, and most of those questions are in my wheelhouse of things that I actually do. I created a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio when I was 19 years old. I've created other businesses even outside of entertainment. Education has changed over the years. And what I mean by that is me being born in 76, my parents, they equipped us and they taught us how to maneuver in a world that pretty much doesn't exist anymore. So we were taught, go to college, get a trade, get a job, do that. We weren't taught entrepreneurship. The way that we were educated was through, going to school. Well, things have changed. Now people are more prone to do peer-to-peer educating. More it's about the experience. You know what I'm saying? Education can get you education, but education can't get you experience. But experience can yield education. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now,
It's true.
people are there's value there. A lot of people reach out to me, and I want to be able to serve that community. So what I've been working on, we created the Legacy Builders. I expanded my team, headed by my daughter, Rachel Renee. She's expanded my brand team, and we brought in, all the man. When I tell you, I have experts, and all of them are old enough to be my kids. You know what I mean? To to help build and scale this new community called Legacy Builders, where what we will be doing is we will in essence be, so we still have the Holdin Court podcast. That's the entertainment part of it. So now in this new community, I'll be bringing in your Grant Cardones, your Robert Smiths, your business people, your experts in these different arenas to share different, more intimate information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I may have Grant Cardone on the Holdin Court podcast, and that's the entertainment part of it. But then over here, it may be 20-30 minutes of really intense conversation about how to really build a business, scale a business, sustainability. It may be, me really showing, the diet part of working out. And it's really my money motivation. What I consider myself, because a lot of people have always said, man, have you thought about being a mentor? You thought about doing that? And in essence, what I pretty much share with people is my experiences, not knowledge, wisdom, but also it's kind of like, I'm kind of more of a mental strategist. It's more about mental strategies. So because that's what it starts with. Success really starts from how you look at things, your perception of things. I come from the hood, bro. It was many of my peers had more talent than me, were smarter than me, better looking than me, whatever, right? The
Yeah.
only thing that separated me was how I looked at things. That's it. It was just my perception, my perspective. But then also discipline, consistency. It's these other things that are, those things lead to success, because you don't always have the answers. But when you have discipline and when you have the consistency and you have the perspective, you will go seek out the information that you need in order to implement that to be successful. And then it's a community of support, so now we have all the resources. I have the people with business funding, the people that know all the programs that are friendly toward the community banking programs that are friendly toward minority businesses.